Hey, Ashley.
Hey.
All right, so Ashley, I've always wanted to know how much of a reality show is actually real.
Okay, so that
Seriously, how much is it actually real? Come on now.
I'm gonna be real. Like that's my thing about, a lot of people even see watching the couple episodes that have already aired. They know I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna be honest. Like I said, I've been on a reality show before this one, but that was like maybe a competition show. So it was like 2012, and that one it still was real, but some things they can kind of finagle behind the scenes. This one is strictly real, unscripted, and it's because it's your relationship. They're not wanting to like make something happen. They're trying to see if something's gonna happen. So for this show, oh yeah, it was all the way real.
So do you so do you have to do you feel like you have to do your makeup every day because you're on camera, or do you just wake up and like you're really in that moment?
Absolutely. Like you have to do your makeup. The only thing is you have certain times where events are set up for the show, where we have to meet with the counselor or we have to meet with our dates. And so those kind of times, you know what's gonna happen that day. Of course, you gotta make yourself up. Like right now, I'm a little like I'm kind of shy because I wasn't able to put any makeup on because I got a spray tan. I'm so pale. Brandon, I'm like you. I'm struggling. I'm
No,
pale.
no, 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 no. I'm actually darker than you, Ashley.
Sir.
You're not gonna do that
Not right
tonight.
now, not with this spray tan.
Well, I will tell you that I don't know if I could date someone and it's open to someone else coming in and infringing on my territory. You got to be a really confident person to be able to do that.
Yes, you do. And how I feel is you should have locked it down a long time ago. You should have put a ring on it ready a long time ago, and you wouldn't have issues. Okay?
Put a ring on it, but make sure when you put a ring on it, keep the ring on it.
Exactly. And make sure you're ready to walk down this aisle.
Yeah.
But honestly, that was a struggle for him. For him, it was really, really hard to see me come on dates because too, as you've seen, they send some of the dates to the door. Like they're coming in your house to pick up your girl. Yeah, no.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. So are there limits when you go on these dates? Are you allowed to are there any limits agreed upon or anything goes?
The thing is, we had a very explicit conversation about boundaries and things that we can and cannot do. Originally, the boundaries were no kissing, hand holding, no hugging, and all that kind of stuff. Well, according to the last episode, which I just watched, he said that all the boundaries were out the window. I could hug, I could do whatever. When he told
double standard, huh?
Hello. He said the only thing I couldn't do was have sex, but who's having sex on the first date? Come on. I mean, especially not on TV. That's not me. But so we're gonna see how that goes because I think it's gonna get interesting. I think he like bites off a little more than he can chew. So we'll see.
So do we say that as men? Hey, you can't do this, but we can do it. But you have boundaries. You have guidelines.
Hello. Ain't no way in the world you're gonna tell me that I have all of this and then you can just go out and have fun. No. Honestly, like I said, our boundaries wound up being different because he changed his. He said, okay, all of them out the window except for sex. Mine was like, nah, you still better not be kissing, holding, grabbing any cheeks. I don't see that. Okay.
So what are you hoping to get out of the show? What's your desired outcome? Because if you get a ring put on it, then I'm assuming you're not on the show anymore. So are you
the thing is, the ring on it is at the very end. So I can date throughout this whole season. Okay. So we have to wait to the end for us to decide whether we're going to do it. So my goal was to get clarity because being in a relationship for 9 years, sometimes that gets hard, especially when, you were so ready and the guy wasn't. And then now he's ready. It's kind of like you're putting pressure on me that you didn't like me to put on to you. And so it gets a little frustrating at times, so I needed clarity to kind of see what I really wanted to do because I'm not the same woman I was when he met me when I was 29. I'm 39 now. Like, I'm not the same woman I was back then. And so, it's kind of difficult. I'm just really hoping for clarity to really make a sound decision.
So, Ashley, when you're on camera and off camera, let's go on camera. Let's say there's some division on camera.
Yes.
When you get off camera, is everybody cool, or do you bring that?
Can you read my face?
When you come off camera, I mean, how do you separate the two? You're being in the public, you're off camera. Tell me about that.
I can't separate it. That's my thing. He was really able to do it. Like he would get upset and get flared up and whatever, and then the cameras go off, and he's like, "Hey, so what you want to eat?" And I'm just looking like, hello, don't talk to me. We're not friends right now. Like for me, I can't do that. I can hold a grudge until the day I die. Okay? So if you blow up and we're blowing up, you're gonna like, no, it's the same thing when the cameras go off. I'm upset with you, because and then two, you're so heightened, and then you're like, well, everybody's gonna see this. You might be embarrassed, they might be embarrassed, and then you're just like dealing with the reality of it once the cameras go off. No, it's real. And that's what I mean when I said it's not scripted. It's not like we fussing for TV and then after we go and eat. No, after I'm just like, don't even breathe in my direction.
So this is real reality TV. You're not faking the funk. Hey, what you see is what you get. If we're doing good on camera, we're doing good at home. But if we're going at it on camera, don't call, don't text, don't DM, because we're trying to handle some issues right now.
You hear me? Nothing. I want to hear nothing.
So Ashley, do you ever miss your privacy?
I think as the episodes progress, maybe, but right now it's fine. I'll look at some of the reviews and you see all these people, they're just experts coming out of the woodworks, have, just all of this advice for you in your relationship. Or, oh, Ashley feels this way. And it's just like, you don't know how I feel, So seeing all of that, I've been blessed to be able to have a little thicker skin to where a lot of it is rolling off. And it's just like, okay, it is what it is. But when we get maybe deeper into like the situations, the dates, the issues, I might be like, but for now, I'm good.
So Ashley, you really sound like a relationship coach. You sound like an expert out there. What's the key to being in a successful relationship? Because when I hear the word put a ring on it, it seems like today women want you to put a ring on it quickly. Now, if you're talking about 8, 9, 10 years, they may 86 you and ghost you and go elsewhere. So what's the standard amount of time where if you don't put a ring on it, somebody else will?
As I'm watching this, of course, everybody has their own little years and stuff like that. I feel like personally, I do feel like I waited too long. Like when I talked to him at the 5-year mark, like, hey, so sir, what are we doing? And he was kind of apprehensive. I should have gotten the hint then. I would say my lesson is for anyone to not wait that long. Like, a guy knows. He took me ring shopping at 3 months of knowing me, not even exclusive. And so I think, you have to be mindful of who you're with, and you can't necessarily just pay attention to the aesthetics. And I think I did. My previous relationship, I kind of was going through something where I felt like I needed more affection, more attention. And this guy, my boyfriend now, he gave me so much attention and affection, and he still does. And I think I got caught up with what I was missing and his fine 6-pack. And I was like, okay, I can say, but I think in hindsight, I really should have given him that time. If he wanted that time and didn't know, I should have backed all the way off and not thought in my head, you know what, I can change his mind, because really, who wants to have to do all of that?
Do you feel like if you or when you eventually get married, things will be different? Because you've been with your boyfriend for 9 years. So what's going to be different once you actually have a ring?
Well, it all depends on if I am still with him. That is the key.
I'm not touching that.
Right, exactly. I'll touch it. Okay. So the thing is.
Hey, wait, Ashley. Are you sure you're not acting right now?
Oh, hello. No, I'm not. Does it look like I'm acting?
All right, because your viewership
is side. If it looks like I'm acting, let me give you my good side.
Your viewership is going up right now, so we're listening. We're listening eagerly to what you're going to say next.
Yes. So the thing is, you have to watch the whole show. I can't give any spoilers of whether I got the ring or not, if he put a ring on it or not, if I accept it or not. I can't really say that. The only thing that I will say is that there was an important thing that I did say on the show, was that I'm not afraid of marriage. I'm just afraid of marriage with the wrong person. Going through this experience, I learned a lot of things about myself, as far as settling or just rushing because now someone else is ready. And so that is not something that I want to do. So I think marriage can be beautiful. I know it's a journey. It's tough. You have your ebbs, your flows. You have ups and downs, and I get that. I just want to, when I do get a ring on it, when I do make that decision to get married, I want it to be one time. So unless God is telling me to move, I'm not moving. And that's period, point blank. I don't care if it's with him. I don't care if it's with LL Cool J. Okay.
So, Ashley, what do you say to the lady who's very well educated? She has a great job. She's independent, maybe in her 30s, 40s, 50s. Age doesn't matter.
Right.
She wants to be in a relationship, but she's worked so hard to build her career, her income, and maybe the guy that she meets is not quite on the same level as she is. What do you say to these two individuals?
Ooh, okay. So I'm not one that's like, oh, you have to be able to take care of me, or whatever, because I consider myself very independent. But I would also like to be equally yoked, because
Mm,
it's cute when you can do everything, but after a while you get to the point where you don't want to have to do everything. And that's the thing. I don't mind someone that doesn't make as much as me, but eventually, I like to go on trips. I just want you to be able to handle yourself, be able to take care of yourself. I'll be able to take care of me. And then maybe, surprise me a couple times, take me on some trips. But I would say, it's love is what I found. Love is not the most important, just not the only thing that you should look for in a relationship. All of those things matter. Financially, you have to be linked with someone that can at least take care of themselves.
mhm.
So I would say across the board, spirituality, everything is so important. And it's not just love, because you'll be in love and be sitting under a bridge. And
Mm.
I
So what's next for you, Ashley? You're on this reality show. It seems like your career is just like the doors just now starting to open and
yes,
big things are on the horizon. Where do you see yourself and how do you plan on getting there?
I definitely am amazed at God's ability to open this door and give me this opportunity. When I was moving here, I was just like, God, you know what I want to do? I want to move to Atlanta. I want to pursue acting and this. And I don't want people to think that I'm acting on this show, because it's genuine. And
Mhm.
honestly, no lie, I'm just a big crybaby. On this show, if you see it, you'll see real and genuine emotions come out.
Mm.
But I definitely want to get more into acting, because that's my love. That is what I love to do. I want to do more TV and film, and I'm currently pursuing that, an agent down here in Atlanta. I have one in Houston. Shouts out to Pastorini Vazzi Talent Agency. They're phenomenal. But I need to get one here and just start hitting the ground. I'm just hoping that being on a platform for my auntie Oprah,
Mm.
that of course the right eyes, will be able to be laid upon me. And I appreciate and I thank you for that blessing. You don't even realize that you spoke over me, that, more doors will be opening. And I look forward to that happening as well, that my gifts will make room for me.
What inspires you?
What inspires me? Honestly, I'm a big person on being a good person,
Mm.
energy, that kind of thing. I love people that you can be around and that can support and uplift and do that. That kind of stuff inspires me. Honestly, I would love to be, a role model to little women everywhere that look like me, that, say, you know what, I want to do something, but I don't know.
Mm.
It inspires me to see people going after what they want. And that's who I want to be for someone else. I want to be that for my nieces and my family members that look up to me and say, hey, auntie, I want to do this. That kind of stuff inspires me. I just want to stay humble, stay
Mm.
careful, keep God first. I don't want all that just to be famed, to be like looking down on people. That's my thing. That's
Mm.
not my thing. I want to be able to lift people up that want to be where I want to be.
Mm. And what I hear you saying is that, acting and even singing, it's not who you are, but I mean it's not what you do, but rather it's who you are.
Yes.
You're a people's person, you're about people. What's that one moment in life where maybe you felt like giving up and throwing in the towel, saying this is it, but you decided to bounce back to where you are today? Can you recall that moment?
I've actually I've actually had a few. Okay. So actually during Hurricane Katrina, when that happened in New Orleans, I was considering going to law school. And I was kind of putting in the work, doing all that kind of stuff, and Katrina hit, and I moved to Houston, and it was very jarring. It was scary because, you know, you shake your life up, you know, but it also puts things into perspective. You lose everything, and you're just like, well, what am I doing all this for? You know, and that kind of opened my eyes that you have to live your life. Yeah, you're good at being a paralegal. You can do this. You can go to law school if you want to, but you have to really live your life. That was one defining moment. And another one I would definitely say is I wanted to not really give up because I just thank God that, you know, he keeps that battery in my back, you know, going on auditions and, you know, not really booking everything you think you're going to book. You know, it takes a hit. It takes a toll on you because you're just like, I'm used to getting everything I audition for. What is this? You know, and that kind of stuff, it makes you question yourself. And I think a lot of the times the devil tries to play with your head. Like, are you good enough? Can you do this? Can you, you know, and it kind of positions yourself. You have to be strong. And I feel like prayerfully, I take that seriously. So God is like, okay, you're not quitting, girl. Like every time I even think about doing something, he opens the door and it's just like, oh my God, like it surpasses everything that I could even think of. So I thank God that I've never fully gotten to that point where I'm just like, you know what, let it go. Because look, I just jumped. I took a big leap to move out to Atlanta to pursue it. Quit my job, did everything. So I'm in it. It's time to get it.
Ashley, you are in a season right now where you are maximizing potential and can't wait to see what the next season brings you as you're catapulted to a whole new dimension of entertainment. I personally wish you the best and all of those who are supporting you and working with you, your potential. Hope you get a ring put on it. And we would love for you to come back on the show anytime that you want to share a new project or just come in and say a few words. We would love to have you. So thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It was really fun, and have a great night.
You are very welcome. Everybody, okay, Ashley, we're going to do this together. That was Ashley
Forrestier.
There it is.
I thought we was going to do it together.
Ashley Forrestier. All right, everyone. Thank you, Ashley. All right, everyone. My next guest, my final guest, is an actor. He's a comedian, radio personality, videographer. He's worked alongside the Tyler Perry for the last 15 years. Help me welcome Mr. Funny Man, my good friend, Mr. Shedrick. Garrett is in the house. Shedrick.
What up, man? What up, what up, what up?
Big Shed in the house. What's going on, Shed?
Man, I'm blessed to be here, man. Thanks for having me, bro.
Glad to have you, Shed. So we calling you Shedrick or Shed?
Oh, you can call me Shed until tax credit, until after the election. Just call me Shed G. We'll be just fine.
Shed G. So you're a man of many talents. You not only are you an actor, radio personality, videographer, and we'll come back to what you did with Tyler Perry in a few minutes, but tell us about yourself. Who is Shed?
Well, man, first of all, before we get this started, I would like to say, brother, that the last person I seen who can wear a mock neck sweater better than you was Bill Bellamy and Love Jones. Because you are killing it, boy. Made me want to go get one out of my closet. I said, "Ooh, he is wearing that sweater right there." So I really appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Like you say, me, man. As far as me, man, to be honest with you, first I'm a man of God. I grew up Denver, Colorado. Born and raised Denver. Went to Norfolk State University. Behold degree in gold, HBCU. Where I learned to do a lot of stuff and get everything done for myself, man. It's just a blessing to be able to do it. I'm a simple person, philanthropist. Just, I don't really like talking about myself. You know what I mean? I do so much. People person. And, it's just a great thing to just be here, bro.
Humble, man. Very humble. So you worked with Tyler Perry. How'd you make that connection?
Okay. So now this is going to be, okay. It's true story. So everything I'm telling you is true. So check it out. So I was in Atlanta and I was performing. We was performing at what was the church? New Birth. We was performing in New Birth. Myself, Pastor John Gray. At the time he was doing comedy. Marcus D. Wiley and Jonathan Slocum was hosting. And I had did a joke talking about I couldn't imagine if Medea was a Jehovah's Witness, you know, going door to door. And Mr. Perry then was there, and you know, he came to the back of the stage and he was like, "Hey, you ever thought about you know, playing Medea or whatever?" And I don't care what nobody else think. At the time, you know, I was like 10, 12. I was sexy. I just knew I was sexy. You know what I'm saying, Brad? I thought I was gonna be the one in the plays with baby oil on.
I got you.
Yeah, you know, I thought I was gonna be singing in the plays, you know, like shabba-doo-ba-doo-tweet-tweet. It was like, no, I want you to play Medea. And I was like, you want me to do what? He said, we want you to play Medea. I said, no, man, you want me to dress up with all that makeup and the dress and everything in Atlanta? Are you crazy? I ain't gonna dress up like no woman in Atlanta. Yo, what? They was like, no, man, we want you to. I said, man, I'm 6'4", 250 pounds strong. I'm a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. I will not dress up like no woman. You know what I'm saying, Brandon?
Right.
Man, they said, this is how much we're gonna pay you. I was like, hello, Brown, if you don't stop popping that gum right now, I'm going to dial 911 in your neighbor. Well, I didn't care what nobody said. Because I was like, y'all didn't know it was me, so I was good.
Come on, Shed, give us some Medea runs. Everybody wants to hear your Medea impersonation. Man,
a lot of times, man, I have to be like, it's always better when I'm in character. You know what I mean? But you know, sometimes like there'll be some parts where I was like, stop popping that gum. If you don't stop popping that gum right now, I'm going to dial 911 in your neighbor. You're gonna have to do the things that I'm gonna do because God is gonna be a good God. That's what I told her, Brad. I said, Brad, you know, so sometimes, especially when I get into character, it's dead on.
So, Shed, what are some of the movies that you've acted in? I know you've been in several films. What are some of the films that we know, that we've heard of?
Well, you know, all of the Medea films except for one. And but I've done, you know, Meet the Browns. I've been myself on a lot of television shows like Meet the Browns and House of Pain, the Ricky Smiley television show, and it's just a blessing. And the cool part about that is people don't realize that I've been on the show. So the first time they meet me, they're just like, oh, okay. But then next, you know, I know when stuff airs, because then after I meet people, they be texting me or inbox me like, yo, I just seen you. And that's just the blessing part. Like even your pops, you know what I'm saying? Pops, hey, man, I just saw you Meet the Browns. I was like, hey, yeah, you know. So that's the blessing part, man. So, you know, God is really blessing and doing a lot of stuff for me, man. So I just continue to just live in his way.
So, Shed, you're well-traveled. What are some of the biggest lessons that you've learned over your career that can benefit someone watching tonight?
Well, man, some of the biggest things that I've learned is to remain humble. And you have to understand that you're never too old or never too good to learn anything. A lot of times we let our egos get the best of us. And, you know, just because of, you know, what you've done yesterday. And a lot of things is, man, you know, what you've done wasn't because of you, it's because of what God did for you. And I just believe that, you know, just be good to others, you be good to them, but then just keep pressing forward. You know, we're all going to have bad days. We're all going to do whatever. But like even during these times, you know, a lot of people was not knowing what to do and just doing so much. And I just remember my grandmother, God rest her soul, Evangelist Ephraim, told me, she was like, if you're going through hell, don't stop. Keep moving. Because if you stop, you're stuck there. You know, and that's how I grew up, you know, with my grandmother was evangelist. You know, you hear what I'm saying? Come on now, evangelist. You know, she was saved. I'm talking, my grandmama was so saved. I promise you, it's a true story. I got to tell you this, okay? I know we're going to get into it. I got to tell you this, brother. So my grandmother came to my school because my teacher had told my grandmother through a parent conference that I couldn't read that well. Right? It was like my grandma was like, what you mean my grandbaby can't read? That's how my grandmother was. And she was like, well, Miss Ephraim, he can't read that well. I mean, he needs some help with reading. The teacher put that in front of me. I'm in the first grade now. Put that paper, and I was like, spot. You know, I was having problems because I was, you know, being on the spot. Man, my grandmother said, okay. Took that paper away and gave me the Bible. Said, read Psalms 134. I was like, behold, bless ye the Lord, all you servants of the Lord, which by night, you know, I was reading the Bible. She said, yeah, just read about Spot. You'd have read about Jesus in this school, praise God. So that's how my grandmother was, man. That's how she was. blessing.
That's great. So, Shed, let's kind of shift the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
The world is in anticipation tonight on who the next president of the United States is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of opinions on both sides. Both sides are already declaring victory. What are your thoughts on the whole election?
Man, this whole election, man, I'll be honest with you. It's nerve-wracking. And the thing is now, you know, on both parties, you have pros and cons. But the one thing is I look at the history of our current situation and the current president, and I just need, for me personally, I just want something better. You know, just for the, not just me, but just for our nation. And, you know, how everything is being handled is, to me, is I mean, for me as my leader, I wouldn't want my leader to be that way. You know what I mean? Just to be in that certain situation and just the way he handled a lot of things. And, you know, that's just I don't know, man. It's just one of those situations. Like, I can't even watch it tonight, to be honest with you, because I don't want to be in a headspace where my emotions are going up and down, because I remember being in Minneapolis watching it and with Hillary Clinton and how, you know what I mean, almost, you know, it was very emotional going through and seeing how everything was moving. So just one of those times, man, where, I'm just, one thing I can say, brother, to be honest with you, is that I'm excited that we had so many people voting and everyone's getting out, like the young, the interest was voting. But if you see the state of the world right now, we're in need for a change. We really are. We really are in need for a change. And that's the main thing that I just feel. But I hope everyone stays safe afterwards, because afterwards there's a lot of stuff that's going to be happening for parties. Some people may say, you know, that it was being stolen. Some people may say that it was, you know, just rigged, whether whoever wins. So just stay safe out there after the election. So that's just the one thing.
Shed, I appreciate those words.
Mm-hmm.
Can you still hear me, Shed?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, we have a comment from Sabrina Luna.
Mm-hmm.
Sabrina Luna said, "That's why I'm watching you guys right now, much better than watching the election results."
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Sabrina. We appreciate that. Shed, let's talk about the young men in America and all over the world who are lacking that father figure in their life.
Mm-hmm.
How important is it for men, especially as Black men, as ourselves, to come in and mentor these young boys who don't have a father or a male role model?
Mm-hmm. Well, man, for me, you know, being a philanthropist, I don't have any kids. I got nieces and nephews that I really, really, really try to be a part of their life and giving them and just being that example. But I also have a group that I do. It's called Shedrick's Gentlemen's Club, where I try to mentor a lot of young men on how to be gentlemen, on how to, you know, just be a man growing up, show them the different things about credit scores, how to maintain your credit scores, and also how to just, you know, when you're walking with a young lady, how she goes on the inside of the street. Just those little things that are lacking that I feel as far as respect that a lot of young men do not have. And it may not be because, you know, nobody's in the house, but sometimes you got to understand that the men in their life, maybe they weren't taught, and maybe they don't understand or they know. So it's very, very important. If we're going to change the narrative of everything that's going on in the world, we got to be an example and a tool to want to go out and be the change. We can't do anything just talking about it. We have to go out there and, as my uncle say, you know, be about it. And that's the one thing, just how I feel about it.
Well, Shed, I appreciate you coming on, and I hope you come back and see us again, everybody. This is my main man, Shed Garrett. Shed, tell us what's next for you. You're an actor, radio personality on one of the hottest radio shows in Minneapolis, Minnesota. What's going on next for you, man?
Man, to be honest with you, man, right now that I moved to Dallas, so I live in Dallas right now. And, you know, we got some things going on, just like what you have, which I love your show for the podcast. We have a podcast that we're putting together called Friends. We also have a tour with the Rat Packs of Comedy. It's 4 young men myself, D. Ellis, Q the comedian, and also Terry Grossman out of Houston and the rest out of Dallas. But we tour all over. We have a great time. And I have the Church Boys comedy tour with Pastor Fred from the Ricky Smiley Morning Show. So that's just it, man. We just try to make sure we do that and also do the things that I do with the young men and the youth to keep going. And, you know, I can't tell you exactly what is going on, but you'll see me on a show on Nickelodeon very soon playing a gym teacher. So I can't, you know, I try to give you the hint, but that's what it is. That's why I'm trying to get rid of this dad bod, and I'm not even a dad. How about that?
Everybody, this is Shed G. Shed. We appreciate you. All of those who are tuning in, be safe out there, regardless of what the results are tonight. Make sure you stay safe because we want peace in all the land. Thank you for tuning in to the Brandon Holt Show. You can catch us next Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We have a show that you are really going to look forward to next week, just like every show that we bring on Tuesday nights. From my heart to yours, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.